Hi, I'm Aniki Nippon. Today I wanted to talk about real environmental solutions now. Now this is piggybacking off of a concept I was working on a previous video, but I wanted to show exactly what I mean when we need to talk about environmental solutions that are actually going to work and benefit us in the long run. And I feel that up to now there hasn't been enough on the subject. You know, all the solutions seem to be either technology based, business based, or politically based. And there's a little element of all three of those that will be included in this solution, but my ultimate goal, ladies and gentlemen, is to convince you that the real solution to global warming is not as complicated and is probably a really simple solution, and I'm about to present that right now. Now, to start off, I would like to say that global warming is here. It is real, and it's something that we need to deal with as human beings. And I think whether or not we cause it or not is trivial compared to the solutions that we need to address. Because it doesn't matter, you know, we need to stop pointing the finger, whether it's coming from humans or the sunlight or whatever. But we need to address this problem, and I think that there is some shared legitimate concern on the side of, maybe not so much in a new world order sense, but I think on the side that is against the idea of global warming or whatever. I think there are some concerns that government is trying to intervene too much and control too much based on the laws and things that they're trying to push for in order to save the environment. We know what heats up the earth. We know that methane heats up the earth when it goes in the atmosphere. We know that there are greenhouse gases that exist. And we know these things actually do heat up the earth. But I think the solution is not to just decrease the amount of methane that's produced, or rely on some pipe dream technology that we hope will work someday in developing in the science. And I hope it does too. I hope it does offer some sort of solution to the environment. But I think they're thinking too hard. I think the scientists are thinking too hard for environmental solutions, and expecting that pipe dream to come to life when we don't even know when it's going to come about. For example, we don't know when the cold fusion's ever going to be perfected. We don't know. We can't predict that as of yet. So, but this is what I have to offer to everybody. But before I do that, I want to talk about some of the solutions that won't work, the unrealistic solutions. Number one solution that I think won't work is trying to save the Amazon forest. I know we have a lot of protected lands there now because of donations from people like you in the United States and other countries as well, you know, saving an acre or two and so on. At least that's what the funds say that they're spending on. So, but you know, inch by inch, you know, and yard by yard, mile by mile, the Amazon forest is being destroyed. Whether or not, you know, anybody intervenes or not, it's gonna happen, and that's part of the problem. The other thing is, you know, decimating every single cow in the country and every other country in order to save the environment just seems like a piffle attempt. You know, we're not gonna decrease our cow population just because of the environment. But the real solution is this: we know exactly how to increase the amount of water in a certain area, and we also know how to decrease the temperature in a certain area based on what we put there. And this benefits us in many different ways. If we increase the amount of precipitation in a certain area, there's going to be more rainfall, there's going to be more water on the surface, and that's one of the things that threatens us and our survival, is the amount of water that we have on the surface. You know, we have 97% of the water that actually is in the oceans, but that's increasing a little bit because the surface water is actually dwindling, whether it's used by us or you know, just drying out from, or regions, you know, like the glacial waters drying up, and so on and so forth. Now there are plenty of radical notions that exist out there, but here's one of them. The radical notion that we can possibly change a desert and make it into a lush forest. That's where I see that I see the key to making a area that's fertile again, and that's one of the solutions I think is going to work. If we can turn a desert into a lush forest, I think we can dramatically increase the amount of precipitation in the atmosphere and also on land, because we have more water supply that's being pumped on land and being used instead of being embedded in the surface like in deserts. You know, it's usually embedded in like a spring or a well where you have all that water beneath the surface in the desert. So part 2, please continue on to part 2.